to something that Didi said, and I'm in exact agreement with him. I saw Tottenham early in the season, and I think we spoke during the game at Old Trafford when they went there, and they didn't really put up any resistance to Manchester United. It's only a few weeks ago, and I would not have fancied them to be contending for the championship. And I do think now that they are real contenders because of the quality of their defence, and because Dele Ali and Kane are clicking up front. Just one caveat there. Vertonghen has picked up a very serious cruciate ligament injury. It could be out for 2 months. But they still look a seriously good side when they're up for it, don't they?
Oh, definitely, Eamon. I would agree with Didi and yourself, Eamon. I didn't. A few weeks ago, I didn't fancy them at all. I always thought Dele Ali was overrated, Eamon.
Yeah.
And I have changed my mind on that. I think they're serious contenders. I think Dele Ali has the makings of a top-class player. I think when I watched Spurs before, even when playing for England, he was regarded as a midfield player. I never saw him as a midfield player. I don't think he is a midfield player. I think he's a terrific striker. I think he has a lot of ability. I think if he really now behaves in the way that he should, because he's a bit dodgy at times. I mean, he's only 20, he's only young, but certainly the ability to do it is there. I think they've got as good a chance as anybody else now as well. And I wouldn't have said that. I would have said I wouldn't have fancied them at all a few weeks ago, Eamon. But I think I definitely have changed my mind on them.
Didi, if we just break the Tottenham thing down forensically, he started to play with three at the back now. The three are Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Dyer, and they have two really potent fullbacks. For that system you need wing backs. Danny Rose and Walker, they bomb forward. They have Eriksen in midfield, who's beginning to play a bit more consistently. They have Dele Ali and Harry Kane up front, and Wanyama and Dembele in midfield. So when you break it down like that, apart from Wanyama, who had questioned, they're pretty powerful, aren't they, when they have their best team on the field?
No, I think that's probably their biggest strength, their physicality and their stubbornness, and they've got a tremendous team spirit, and obviously this is what he bases his team on. He doesn't want any stars in his team. Everybody has to behave the way team players have to behave, and I think this is where they've got a massive edge over some of the other teams, because I think they're, if you look at most of the other teams, I'm not sure whether they're as united as that Spurs team is. As you say, playing three at the back. Dyer is a player who's pretty versatile. He played in midfield, he can play the back. I think both fullbacks are probably better going forward than they are going backwards, so obviously it makes sense to play three at the back and give him a bit more freedom on the wings. And then in Eriksen, Dembele, Wanyama, they've got physicality in there. They've got guile. They've got innovation. They've got a technically gifted player in Eriksen, and they just have a good mix, I think. The team you just said, that was my worry before the start of the season. If you look at a team now, these 11, then you've got Son who can come in and maybe nick a goal off the bench. If you look at a team, it's a very strong team. But they didn't pick too many injuries. I know Vertonghen is out now, but I think they were pretty fortunate not picking up too many serious injuries, because I don't think they've got the strength and depth as other top 5, top 6 teams in the Premier League have. And the guy you just mentioned, Dele Ali, what a talent, what a prospect to watch, scoring goals, and he's just a street footballer, a natural finisher, and it's great to watch at the moment.